Anjali Verma, who's Chief Economist and Strategist, joins in with a quick perspective on how she's reading the multiple factors that will influence trade from a near-term perspective. The focus will be on assembly polls, what's at stake, but there'll also be a fair amount of focus on the road ahead when it comes to policy making in the run-up to the general elections. That's squarely the event for 2019. Anjali, it's great to have you on the show. Let's start off with the key factors that are on your watch list.
Thank you.
When it comes to how the election risk will play for the markets.
You mean to say as upcoming state election results?
That's right. And just the election season, that's going to be a big event risk for the markets.
Okay, so, So what we did to get some perspective on how the policy impact has been on the ground, we've traveled a couple of states, particularly Rajasthan and Madhya Pradesh, which are the important states. One from the size perspective, as well as there are upcoming state elections, and the fact that we have had a BJP government ruling in these states for about 5 years to 15 years. So the objective of traveling to these states, one was to get a perspective on the implementation of the central government policies, because sitting here we keep hearing of all the policies that have been announced by the Modi government. So we thought it was time that we go on the ground and get some perspective as to what has been the implementation, if at all people are gaining from there. So we received a very good feedback from most of the policies that central government has announced over the last 4 years. We spoke with we traveled in rural region as well as urban cities of these two states, and we got a very positive feedback on most of the central government policies. Execution is pretty good, and we actually saw that there is a social upliftment that has happened because of the policies that government has introduced over the last 4 to 5 years. So from that point of view, there is a very strong and positive I would say economic as well as political impact of the central government policy so far.
Right. So just want to understand, Anjali, considering you are pegging that MP and Rajasthan is going to be a tough fight and a close call, do you think this could be a big market moving event? I mean, what is the kind of range that the market is likely to see if that were to be the case, that it is going to be a neck and neck fight, and especially for a market which is already grappling with global weakness as well rubbing off on us? Case in point today, where we've fallen really off the cliff.
Okay, so we, while of course outcome of state elections is going to have an impact on the stock markets, but we wouldn't like to consider that as a significant event. We would be tracking all other factors also along with the political results. So yeah, I mean, if let's say BJP sort of loses a couple of two important states, then yes, of course, impact will be definitely adverse for the stock markets in the near term. However, we wouldn't believe that that's the only factor which is going to drive market movement going ahead. There are a lot of other crucial factors to track, which is global economic growth, where it is heading from the current levels, how low, for how long can the oil prices sustain at the current levels, what can be the trajectory going ahead. And of course, as we understand that such a sharp correction in oil prices is a fair big negative for Indian macros as well as Indian markets. So let's not ignore the positives that we have in hand. But yes, of course, state results will be crucial. But I don't think it's going to have a long-lasting impact on markets.
Right. Anjali, it's very important to ascertain, the historical patterns, and I think a large part of your own survey and your own experience would reflect that, in terms of how much do the polls reflect the reality on the ground, because there's always that gap, right, which is what leads to the volatility in the markets. How different do you think this time around the assessment would be about the election results versus what we've seen in the past, given your experience?
Okay, so like I said, if it's a, if the outcome is of a close fight, or sort of, let's say, similar distribution of seats between BJP and Congress, then one will have to see the margins with which the government is formed, and which are the candidates who won, what has been the caste equation. So there are a lot of factors to track, in terms of the results. But I would say, see, what we need to also understand is that in Madhya Pradesh, we have had BJP ruling for 15 years. So after that also, if there is a close fight between Congress and BJP, I think we need to, we would still want to give the due to the BJP government, that they have done good work, and that's what we actually witnessed on the ground. In Rajasthan, the usual trend is of a government change every 5 years. That's what, when we met people told us. But I think the outcome is going to be close. We are not in, we don't want to come up with any prediction on as to who can win. But point is that if it's a close, close outcome, then I don't think it's going to be such a significant negative for stock markets. And now the focus will shift to, the Lok Sabha elections.
Yeah, we hope so. But just on the macroeconomics as well, Anjali, and outside of elections really, you've got the OPEC meet which is going to kickstart today. Fortunately, we've seen a tremendous cool off in crude prices already. It's a status quo from the RBI, but there has been that sharp inverse movement that you've seen in US yield just yesterday. And again, this bout of global weakness. As I speak also, the Dow futures are down about 200 points. What is it that you're feeling about the global scenario and the landscape right now? And because of the sensitivity that India has, or for that matter, any world market has to US equities?
Okay, so if we divide this into domestic economic scenario and global economic scenario, and of course the interlinkages between the two. So in terms of domestic economic scenario, things are looking, I would say, stable. It's with the oil prices, having corrected. If oil prices had remained elevated, then of course we would have been concerned about Indian, macro situation as well. But that has actually turned, the entire equation positive for us. And even if, let's say, there is some reduction announced by OPEC today, we don't expect oil prices to rise significantly from the current levels, particularly because now concerns are also rising on the on some global economic weakness kicking in versus the confidence that investors have had that there is substantial growth internationally. So frankly, we have opined that Fed will go slow in terms of rate increase in the second half of 2019. We've been saying that for about, I would say, a few months now, and that's what we expect will happen. So the basis on which we were of the view that our Fed will have to slow down in terms of increasing rates is because we were of the view that growth will weaken in the US going ahead in 2019, and those are actually the concerns which we are now hearing, and is also reflecting in the US equity markets. But that said, we also need to realize that US equity markets are still at its peak. Some bit of correction is normal, but yeah, one needs to be vigilant that there is no significant slowdown in economic growth. At the moment, we are not, in terms of the data, I don't see any reasons for the worries. But yes, equity markets react much in advance, and we do expect our Fed overall to sort of go slow in the second half of 2019 in terms of rate hike. In fact, we are of the view that they will be done hiking rates in the beginning of 2019. And after that it will be a pause, and yes, the US economy will slow down, because we are seeing strength, or I would say optimism in the US economy versus the rest of the world for the last 6 to 7 years. So it's end of it's about cycles, and from the bottom to peak, and of course it will have to start if not contracting, but at least slowing down. And that's what we are expecting to see in the US going in 2019-20. Because the kind of stimulus that we saw, in terms of monetary stimulus, in terms of fiscal stimulus across the world rather, has of course slowed down, and we'll now have, we are also hearing that ECB is considering some sort of, liquidity reversal. So all of this, of course, will will start to have weakness on their respective economies. And yes, somewhere we'll also start to get impacted. Definitely.
Anjali, thanks very much. Thanks very much for joining us and, joining the dots when it comes to the upcoming election results.
Thank you.
And what the impact of that could be on the markets.